okay? I'm here in the gym. I just had an epiphany that I need to share with you. This was from a devotional that I really put on my heart a few weeks ago. And it just reminds us about God being in control. It's just because God is in control does not absolve us from the responsibility of action. Mordecai understood the risk of that Esther's life had. You know, we have been bouncing around through the story of Esther. And there comes to a portion in time where Esther, she's now queen. She is a Jew. Mordecai knows this. Esther knows this. But the king does not. King Xerxes, King Ahasuerus doesn't know. And there comes a time where the order had been placed. Haman had convinced Xerxes to write this order to kill all the Jews. Mordecai gives Esther this opportunity to act, right? And so Mordecai reminds her of this, and he sends her another message. And these words are so powerful. We're going to spend a lot of time on that. It says, "For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will come for the Jews and arise from another place. And who knows, but that royal position for such a time as this." He reminds her that if you do nothing, we're still going to get rescued. If you do something, we are definitely going to get rescued. But it's your choice whether you have a part to play. And it may be the exact reason why you are where you are is for your ability to act for others to reap the benefit. Did Queen Esther reap a benefit of action? Yes, but it's because of her action that countless men and women and children received the benefit as well. Our action every day while walking out of our purpose is a blessing to others more than it is to ourselves. In that moment, Queen Esther understood a call, and she understood she had a moment. She tells Mordecai to gather together the Jews, to fast and to pray, and that she would follow suit. She's going to do the same thing with her people on the inside. And then she says, "I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish." She wasn't cut out for that job. She knew that the only way to victory was, number one, to get in agreement with each other, with those around her, to get in agreement with God, to go see what God had to say, and to get directives. She had no family to fall back on. She agreed to do exactly what she was led to do. How did she suddenly become so courageous? You know, that answer isn't directly given in the Bible, but we do have some hints. Esther speaks of fasting and prayer. She pulled down some strongholds. There was something that was holding her back, but it was through the fasting and prayer of her and her team, and then obviously Mordecai and all the other Jews who were fasting and praying to pull down some strongholds. Fasting and prayer works. But she put her trust in the one place that we can all put all of our trust. She put it in God. She didn't rely on anybody else. Matthew 10 reminds us that God is in control. Even in the most seemingly insignificant sparrow falls to the ground only when God allows it. Nothing happens to us unless it comes from God's hand or through his hand. Nothing happens without a reason. So don't be afraid. It goes on to say in that Matthew 10, "For we are more worthy, have more value than sparrows." There's a quote from John Piper that reminds us the sovereignty of the Lord is meant to take away the fear. The sovereignty that God is in control of everything is meant to take away our fear of the unknown. Esther didn't need to fear in this moment because she placed the control over in God's hands. I remember I had this thought. that in a moment, in a relationship that has been stretched and has been requiring a lot of effort for me personally, I remember there was a moment where I had stepped out and I did something. And I'm trying to work on things. I'm trying to mend fences and build bridges and all these positive things. I'm doing what I'm receiving from God, and I feel like I'm doing and stepping out in boldness. I remember doing something with the right heart, with the right gesture, and it backfired. And I remember going to God and telling God, God, I'm sorry, I messed that up. I dropped the ball. I shouldn't have done that. And I remember instantaneously having the feeling of saying, do you think you could ever mess it up? Do you think that I'm still not in control? And I just remember having that moment of just, I don't need to repent, thinking that my single action could deter what you had promised that you were doing in this relationship, what you had promised that you were going to resurrect and restore and revive, that my action wasn't part of the plan, or that you didn't know about it. And I want you guys to really take that to heart. Not any one single action that you do is outside of anything God's control. He knows all the good and he knows all the bad. And the Bible's very clear that he works them all together for good. Now, doesn't mean we just willy-nilly and go do bad and go do good and just allow God to put the pieces together. No, we should do good. And we should refrain from bad, and we should refrain from evil deeds. But that being said, we just need to do. You have a purpose. You have a calling. There is a specific action, purpose, plan for today. It requires you to do. God, you are in control of every area of my life, of every person who's watching this, you're in charge of their life. I thank you that you're over it all. God, just give us a resounding understanding and peace that your sovereignty in our lives today. I pray that the peace that surpasses our understanding open our eyes to your sovereignty and to your plan for the bigger things. Guys, I look forward to seeing you each Wednesday, 6:30 to 7:30 Central Time. Feel free to pop on, or you can follow us on any of the social media channels. I look forward to seeing you. I am rooting for you.